Battlefield Bad Company, one of the first Battlefield games that lets you blow buildings up. And I mean, they really want you to know it too. There are explosive barrels everywhere. Now, you can't level entire buildings like you can in Bad Company 2, but this is still fun and satisfying to do. Bad Company is, of course, a first-person shooter that was developed by DICE for the PS3 and Xbox 360 in June 2008. What makes this game so unique for the first time was that it was the first Battlefield game to be created exclusively for consoles, and also to focus heavily on a story with fully developed characters. Funny as hell characters too. I mean, seriously, your squad's banter is hilarious.
Hey, welcome to the sandbox.
His name is Hacker.
Hey, how you doing? You smell very clean.
My name's Redford. You can call me that.
You are go for Objective Mustang. Over.
Could you tell her I said hi?
Objective Mustang. Affirmative.
Not quite time to kick back yet, though. The trucks you spotted seem to be headed for a farm to the east. It may be a
Speaking of hilarious, the promotion for the game's release offered some of the funniest game trailers I've ever seen. There were 3 that parodied other popular games such as Metal Gear Solid 4, Gears of War 2, and Rainbow Six Vegas trailers. My favorite was the Metal Gear one. Let's check it out. Bad Company was the first title to use the Frostbite engine, which has been used ever since, with Frostbite 2 released in 2011, Frostbite 3 released in 2013, and Frostbite 4 released in 2017. I'm sure Frostbite 5 is just around the corner, and for the people watching this in the future, it was released already. Single player is the main part of this game, but that doesn't mean there wasn't a multiplayer mode, because there was. Bad Company supports 24 players, with Gold Rush being the only mode included at release of the game. Later, Conquest mode returned due to overwhelming requests from players. In October 2008, a map pack was released for the Conquest mode with full trophy and achievement support. Originally in multiplayer, players could take screenshots by pressing the select or back button on their controller and access them from the Battlefield Bad Company website. But now, the website has been replaced by one that only shows developer-made screenshots and videos for the game. Those bastards. The reviews for Bad Company were very good, with critics really enjoying the realistically destructible environments, impressive weapons, variety of gameplay and vehicles, and also the funny characters. In 2012, a TV show based on the game was announced and was said to be written by John Eisendrath. I probably said that wrong. Who is currently known for writing the Blacklist show. This of course never happened, but could have been great. Maybe not in 2012, but today on a streaming service, it could have been something special. In 2017, Microsoft announced that Bad Company can be played on the Xbox One via backwards compatibility. It is the same game and not enhanced, but we will still take a look at it later. The frame rate for the game is 30 frames all around, for the PS3, 360, and even on the Xbox One. The first in-game footage shows the PS3 looking very grainy. Now, I know this is a graphical hindrance, but I do kinda like it because it's like a vintage war film. When we get our first view of the protagonist, the PS3 offers more contrast, but lower resolution and more grain once again. Zooming in, we can really see the 360 shows sharper visuals and better anti-aliasing. Looking at this scene, you can really see the poor aliasing on the PlayStation 3. If we zoom in on the helicopter, we see some nasty stuff right here. And also to note, both versions offer a depth of field focus with your eyes drawn to here and the wheel being out of focus. But on the 360, the shadow also goes out of focus, but not on the PlayStation 3. It stays crisp and sharp. The next scene, the helicopter on the Xbox 360 blows dust everywhere, but this doesn't happen on the PlayStation 3. But on the PS3, you get this guy running and he seems to be missing from the 360. Oh yeah, and you've probably seen it already, but the PlayStation version suffers from some nasty screen tearing. When the actual gameplay starts, both versions have you looking in different areas. I of course moved the camera to fix it, but odd nonetheless. The fire on the PS3 is pretty blurry, whereas on the 360, you can make out some fine fire ember detail. Just overall better fire. But wait, when viewing this part, you can see the 360 does have some screen tearing also. It just doesn't happen as often. Almost everything is just identical in this game, meaning the stuff you see, but I did notice the flowers were missing from this scene on the Xbox. When using the boom cannon, the 360 shows off a lot more embers and debris. Then after the explosion settles, the PS3's dust is gone extremely fast while the Xbox's dust hangs out forever. When repairing the vehicle, they both seem to be different. The Xbox has a constant flare. So this is backwards compatible with the Xbox One, and I went ahead and tested it on the One X. Overall, it's very minimal the differences, but there does seem to be a lot less grain on the One X versus the 360. The aliasing is the exact same, but it does appear to be sharper overall, which is a nice bonus. Since it's basically the same thing, I will not be showing One X gameplay again. This is mainly to compare the PS3 versus 360. But first, let's see what emulator does it better, the RPCS3 versus the Xenia. Well, clearly the RPCS3 does it better, but you do get this odd artifact show up randomly. Could just be on my end though. As for Xenia, well, to get this game to run at all was nearly impossible. I'm playing at a very low resolution and it crashes all the time. For me, it's unplayable, but I'm not sure if it is for others. I'm playing on these PC specs. Take a look. Back to PS3 vs 360 now. The view distance is identical, but I do believe the water ripples look better on the 360 in this instance. If you look at the bridge, you see 3 fires on both systems. Also, better water ripples again on the 360. Okay, now back to the 3 fires. Well, they disappear on both at the end of the cutscene. The fire does come back when you get closer to it, but the smoke looks better on the PS3 on this scene. The 360 looks a bit off, but it does get better. After blowing up this door, the forest in the window here looks pretty different. I found this interesting. The ammo clip is more baller on the PS3. Give me that bling clip, baby. The fact of the matter is that these both are so close to being the same that you'd honestly have difficulty finding any differences at all if they weren't side by side. Even when they are next to each other, it's still pretty hard to find anything different. It's such a fun game with a great story and funny cast of characters, so go out and play it any way you can. The experience will generally be the same. With that being said, please do subscribe, leave me a comment below, and like this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take it easy.